Hey guys, we'll be continuing with our lectures on moments, and we'll be solving a complicated problem here. It won't be really too complicated, but it would be a very good example, and you would understand a lot from that. So let me just increase the chalk sizing here. That's great. All right. So we have an example here. Let's see. When you deal with real world situations, there are very less situations where you get, let's say, 1 or 2 force on something. Let's say this is a meter rule. All right, this is a meter rule. Let's say this is. It's always remember it's not necessary that it's fixed or it's pivoted from the center. I can pivot it from anywhere that I want to. I will show you in a while. So that would not matter. But right now I'm just taking it from the center. Let's say this is a meter rule and it's 1 meters. All right, and this is the dimension. This is 0.1. This is 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, and 0.5, 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, 0.9, and 1. This is 0.5. And each this little distance here is 0.1 meters. Each mark here is 0.1 meters. So 0.1 meters. So let's see. Now there's no. Let's say there are just too many forces. I am applying a force. There's a force at this point. Let's say this is F1, force of 100 newtons. Right. There is a force at this point. A force F2, which is say 150 newtons. There is a force at this point, and it's fixed from here. There's a force, let's say F3, this point, which is 200 newtons. A force at this point, which is 50 newtons. Force at this point, which is 250 newtons. And let's say a force at this point, which is this is F4. This would be my F5. This is, let's say, F6, which is, say, 100 newtons again. So first of all, the question says find out the net moment or the resultant moment, sum of moment. So let's see. First of all, the rule says find out the sum of clockwise moments first, or clockwise or anti-clockwise, any one of the two first. I'm finding clockwise moment first. First, I'll have to identify which force produces a clockwise moment, and clockwise is in this direction. So let's see. Does this force produce a clockwise moment? Yes, you can see this force produces a clockwise moment. So I will mark it as C. This force does. Does this force produce a clockwise moment about this point? Imagine if you're holding it from here and you apply a force on this side, it would move it in this direction. This is not clockwise force, so not this one. Does this move it in the clockwise direction? Yes, it does. It moves it in the clockwise direction if I hold it from here. So this is clockwise 2. Let's talk about this one. Does this move it in the clockwise direction? Yes, it moves it in the clockwise direction. If I apply a force, this is clockwise again. And you can see that this one would move it in the anti-clockwise direction. So this is not, and this is again a clockwise force. It would produce a clockwise moment. So we have 4 forces. So remember that this is the sum of clockwise moments. So let's see, each block is a 0.1. So let's start. This would be F1 times D1. This is F1 plus F3 times D3. This is F3 times D3. Always you can use brackets because they make things very convenient. This is F4 times D4 plus F6 times D6. This would give me F1 is 100 times the distance from the pivot. Just 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, and 0.4. 100 times 0.4 plus F3, 200 times 0.1. 200 times 0.1 plus 50 times 0.1 plus F6, 100 times 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4. 100 times 0.4. Now, it's 100 times. You can use your calculator. This would be 40, and okay, this would be 40, and this is 20. If you use your calculator, this is 20. This is 5, and this is 40 again. So 40 plus 40 plus 20 plus 5. This becomes 105 newtons meter clockwise. So this is 105 newton meters clockwise. So we know that our clockwise moment is 105 newton meter. Now let's find out the sum of the anti-clockwise moment. And let's see what happens then. Okay, it starts to hang whenever I use this eraser. I don't want to erase the entire thing because then we won't have this seesaw here. So let's find out the sum of clockwise moment. Alright, just ignore my handwriting here. Of anti-clockwise moment, sorry. Anti-clockwise moments. So we know that the anti-clockwise moments, let's see the forces that produce anti-clockwise moment. Does this force produce anti-clockwise moment? Yes, it does. This is anti-clockwise. And you can see this and this. You can see this is taking it in this direction. This does produce anti-clockwise moment. So this is one force. Let's see. This force also produces anti-clockwise moment. You can see it brings it like this. So this is our other force. So sum of anti-clockwise moment would simply be F2 times D2, this force times its distance, plus this force times its distance, F5 times D5. This would simply be 150 times 0.1, 0.2, and 0.3. 150 times 0.3, right? Plus 250 times 0. Let's say 0.1, 0.2, 250 times 0.3. So if you use your calculators, you would get this would be 45 newtons meter, plus this would be 75 newtons meter. If just check if I'm not wrong, these are the values, and the answer to this would be 120 newtons meter in the anti-clockwise direction. Our clockwise moment was 105 newtons meter. Now our anti-clockwise moment is 120 newtons meter. So since anti-clockwise moment is greater than clockwise moment, this entire thing would turn only in the anti-clockwise direction. And with what magnitude? With net moment, it would simply be 120, the bigger one, in the anti-clockwise direction, minus the smaller one in the clockwise direction. So the net moment would be 15 newtons meter in the, it would be 15 newtons meter in the anti-clockwise direction. This is known as the net moment, or M net. So this, it would mean that because even if there's hundreds of forces here, we would find out the sum of the clockwise moment first and then the sum of the anti-clockwise moment first. If we'll see which one is bigger, and from that we will determine the direction in which the whatever the blank would move. And to find out the magnitude of the mnet, we'll just subtract the two values and we'll get the net moment of the system. So I hope you guys understood this example, and I think you guys would be thorough in this chapter by now. So if you have any questions, just put them down in the comments box and stay tuned to it. Thanks for watching, guys.